Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast episode 52. Tonight, we're talking a new Pokemon TV app on Switch, Metroid Dread details, like brand new details, dropped in a new trailer, and Spelunky 2! Spelunky 2! It's out now! It's out! All that and more.
On Switch.
Yes, all that and more. Well, everybody, I am Andros, and I am joined this week, as I am joined basically every day in spirit, but also every week on this show, by my fellow Nintendo pal, Mr. Micah.
Yep.
And Micah, how are you, my dude? How are things going?
Things are going pretty good.
Nice. I'm glad that the writing the lines down this week really helped out. Keep delivering.
Yeah, I
delivering
made
the
a
intro.
little extra fancy on the delivery there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad things are going well. Anything new and exciting happening in the life of Micah or Mitch?
Not particularly.
Nice. Yeah, I can't say anything too exciting is happening in the life of Andros as either, other than all this Nintendo stuff that we're going to be talking about. So, obviously my life has been absorbed by a certain game, as we were discussing before the show.
Yeah, how many hours do you have into that game?
So the game came out yesterday. Yesterday, right?
Yep.
But I had it the day before. So for 2 days, including today. So
Maybe 3 days including today, right?
3 days, if we include today. I have put in...
I think you get it kind of late-ish on the 25th, or maybe you got it really late on the 24th.
I got it really late on the 24th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If for those who don't know, we're talking about Spelunky 2. We teased it in the intro. I have put 15 hours into the game so far. And you may be wondering, like, wait, how do you know that? Because when you look at the thing, it just says, just started 2 days ago. If you sign in on someone else's account, or not sign in, if you look at the trending page on your NintendoSwitch, you can actually see games that are trending and the hours that your friends have in them. So if I look from my wife's account at the trending page, I can see that her friends Andros and Micah have both played Spelunky. Micah for 5 hours and Andros for 15. Triple the time and half the skill. Let's put that out there right now. Yeah. So I guess that's been what's new for me. So maybe we should just jump right into it, Micah, and head over to Whatcha Playin. So what have you been playing lately, Micah? What you got? What you got on your Switch?
I haven't had too much opportunity for gaming this week, but I have obviously played some Spelunky 2. That's been good.
Nice. So we're gonna talk, I guess, more in depth about Spelunky as part of our community corner this week. But give us high level. What are your thoughts on the game so far?
It's good. It is even more difficult than I remembered the first one being. That's probably just because I'd forgotten. But yeah, we have, well, mostly Andros has put a lot of time into it, and we have barely scratched the surface, it seems. So you will definitely get your money's worth.
Yeah. and not just because you're dying over and over and over again. Um, Although that will happen. I just didn't remember how difficult this game was either. Like, I remember it being
Yeah.
super fun and just sinking tons and tons of time into the first game. But this one definitely has like reminded me, oh yeah, this game's hard. It's not a walk in the park, but it's super fun. Super fun.
Yeah.
I can't recommend it enough, you know.
Yeah. Plus, they've made like the first area more difficult with a couple new enemies.
Yeah, and they're kind of the worst.
But in an almost good way.
Yeah, almost good. uh
Okay, so besides that, I played Fortnite once, like 4 rounds. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, this season seems pretty cool, but I just haven't been able to really get into it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, you know, has it finally died for us, or do you think we'll go back? Like, we'll go back into playing regularly? Because I haven't played it for a few weeks now. I've logged in and looked at I've looked at the shop and maybe done a single match in the past few weeks. Maybe remember
Yeah, I
playing.
think yesterday was like my first time in like 2 weeks, and then before that it'd been like another 3 weeks. So who knows? Maybe they'll do something really cool at some point that'll get me back in.
Yeah, I am I'm like wondering if it's just dead, you know? Like if I'm not going to be into it anymore. I hope they do something to bring me back in, but I don't know what they would do because I'm just kind of like, I play it and then kind of bored with it, you know?
Yeah. What they need is just a full Brandon Sanderson Cosmere crossover event. That would get me back in.
Yeah, that would get like all of me and you. That would be it.
Yeah, and maybe 4 other dudes or something.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know how many
dudettes.
people I don't know how many people are
What kind of
simultaneously a Fortnite and a Cosmic fan, but we fall in that Venn diagram, that small Venn
yeah,
diagram. Uh, yeah, for
really?
those that don't know, Brandon Sanderson writes several book series that all take place within a greater universe that he has created. It's kind of like the MCU, but better. You know, like a big huge
The bold
universe
words.
with things that cross over and all that. Yeah, maybe better's not the right term, but like more in depth. I'd say. Um, yeah, we got Chase plays. Chase plays online in chat says Sanderson is a boss. Yes, and the Wave King is dope. I think Mike and I can easily say that's our favorite book and favorite series.
Yeah.
Fantastic book. You know, if you are part of our Discord community, we actually just recently started a channel on talking about books, and it's been very Sanderson focused because you know Mike and I are big fans of his work. Anyways, I'm going totally off the rails. Going back to Fortnite, I don't know how many people that play Fortnite are also people that read Brandon Sanderson books. But if you're one of the five among us, of Micah and I, you know that full crossover event would be pretty sweet. Even if you weren't, the worlds are so cool that I think it
Yeah.
would
I
be
mean, they
something to
could do
pull you
some
in.
really cool things,
Yeah.
especially with Mistborn magic systems and whatnot.
Yes. Uh, Anything else you've been playing?
I played a bit of Pokemon Unite, but it didn't go the best because I had like 4 matches in a row where someone on my team left very early.
Oh,
So that's a bit of a bummer.
yeah, and you can report that, but it's like there's nothing to do about that. Like in the game, you kind of just have to suffer through the game
Yeah.
with dead weight on the team. And I wish there was a way to fix that. I don't know if it does. I'm not super familiar with MOBAs, but does like League have a better
Yeah,
solution for that?
I believe so. I mean, their better solution is just let you forfeit really early. I mean, depending on how early they drop out of the match, you can,
Well,
I believe
also,
you can kind of like it calls it a draw if your team decides to forfeit early enough with since someone left.
yeah, and they just be extremely toxic, so no one wants to play. That's how they keep that from happening. That's such shade thrown at League of Legends. Uh,
Although
um,
Jace Plays Online says that he thinks they make your missing teammates become an AI, and
yeah,
that could
I
definitely be true. It's been quite a while since I've played some League.
I would really think that I think that needs to happen in Pokemon Unite in
Well,
some way.
I think it does. It like asked a couple times when they left if I wanted them to like join me in the field or leave them at base. But like the AI in Pokemon Unite is not very good. So they essentially just come out to die, which makes the other team stronger. So it seemed better to just leave them in the base.
Yeah, yeah, because well, then how do you make the AI fair? Because if they're too good, then you kind of want AI on
Yeah.
your team.
I just want them to make them impossibly good. Like
But what if
dodging
you
every attack
okay? But then what
perfectly and
if that the other team at all but one player drops, and then it's just like these
just
impossibly good AI.
annihilated. Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, who knows what sort of difficulty they'd want it at.
yeah, yeah, it's it's a tough one. Sweet. So wait, so that means you didn't play any Wind Waker this week?
I did not.
Oh
I
no.
was away from my Wind Waker console
Oh,
for all but like a few
oh, oh,
days.
that's
I
that's
got
right.
back like yesterday. I guess technically it was yesterday, like 1 in the morning or something.
Yeah, yeah. I messaged you, Mike. You ready to stream some Spelunky in like 4 hours? And you were like, I just got home and it is 1 a.m., so probably not.
But I mean, I was all ready for it, but it ended up not being downloadable until later in the morning, anyways. So
Yeah. Wait, what?
it was kind of like a win-win.
What time did it become available for download? Since
I don't know for sure, but I checked at like 2 in the morning when I couldn't, and people were saying they thought it was going to be 9 a.m. And that's or 9 a.m. Pacific time, because that's apparently kind of a normal time for that.
yeah, they dropped them at weird times. Also, there was like not a lot of fanfare for the drop of Spelunky. I was very confused by the whole thing with Spelunky because they originally were in an indie direct as like a start, like a big hitter, like hey, Spelunky and Spelunky 2 are coming to Switch uh, to kick off the indie direct, and then this last indie showcase, they did this whole segment on updates on upcoming games, and Spelunky was nowhere to be seen. And then like the next day, they announced the date
So it
that
was
it was
coming
coming,
out in like
and I
two
was like,
weeks
I
or
was like, why
something.
didn't they just put this in the same presentation? If they were just gonna announce it separately, like a day or two later, that doesn't make any sense. And
Yeah, it
then
seemed
when
really
it
weird. But
when it actually launched, I think the launch trailer didn't come out on the Nintendo official channel till like way late in the day, or maybe even the next day. I don't know if that's normal. I haven't followed a game as closely as I followed Spelunky 2, but that's it was just kind of odd. It felt like it should have like more oomph, and there should be more people talking about it because it's a fantastic game. So I guess this transitions to what I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of Spelunky 2, quite a bit. I also played some Spelunky 1 because that is also on Switch. It's not called Spelunky 1; it's just called Spelunky, the prequel to Spelunky 2. Spelunky 2 being the sequel to Spelunky. Okay, I'm done explaining that. Uh, it is the comparison I have been making is Spelunky and Spelunky 2 are like Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. Mario Galaxy 2 is not really like a new game, but it is a new game. It's enough content, and new levels, and new designs and new everything, but it's like built almost exactly like the first game. You know what I'm saying? Is this analogy make any sense, Micah? No one's said otherwise, so I think it makes sense to people that it's essentially an enhanced, better version of the first game with different levels and more enemies, more items.
More polish. Yes.
Yeah, slightly better graphics and some like physics and lighting effects and just a just an enhanced version, not an enhanced version of, but an enhanced first game. uh yeah, yeah. So that's the comparison I make, and I am loving it. Obviously, I really enjoy this game. This is my Spelunky was my favorite indie game of all time. I was so hoping it was going to come to Switch, and here it is. We're here. We're finally here. This was like my most anticipated game of the year, even over Metroid Dread.
Breath of the Wild 2, if it was coming out this year.
Well, no. I'm sorry. Wait. Let's not get crazy, okay? Most anticipated indie game over Breath of the Wild. But I'm serious when I say over Metroid Dread. Though we have some stuff to talk about that's definitely pumping up my hype for that game as well. So, Spelunky 2, super fun. We have not made it very far. We're playing cooperatively, Micah and I. I played quite a bit myself because we actually got some early access to this game, y'all. It was pretty sweet. I was pretty pumped for that. We got it the day before. And so big shout out and thanks to the devs over there for providing us with that. I was not paid off to talk hype for this game. I like let me tell you guys that I genuinely loving this game. In fact, we were not paid anything. We were just given the game. That's to clarify. Yeah. We'll talk more about it in the community corner, but yeah, that's my general thoughts. I'm really digging it. It's the first game and more, and super fun. I also played every single Mario game available on Switch. When I mean by every single Mario game, I mean the platformers, and that's it. Not like the sports spin-offs and stuff. Because I did another attempt, Micah, at the coinless challenge where I play through every game. If I get a coin, I move to the next game. And I was like, I have knowledge from last time I did this, and I am going to apply that knowledge, and I will for certain be able to beat a game this time. And let me tell you, that didn't happen. Okay, so the first time I did the coinless challenge, I was so confident that I would be able to get really far in Super Mario World for the SNES. Because that's my game. Like, I grew up playing that game. I know all the ins and outs of that game. But, I was a little rusty. It had been a little while. So I forgot that when you cross the finish line, enemies on screen turn into a coin that just goes straight to your bank. So I did that and lost on, like, the first level. It's like,
It was a very entertaining moment on stream.
So this time, I was like, you're not going to get me this time. And there's a charging chuck guarding the gateway. I killed it before going to the goal. And then I crossed the goal, and the goal bar turned into a coin and went into my inventory. I was like...
Was that at its lowest point?
No, if you do not touch the so this is the game where there's like a gate and it has like the line moving up and down and you have to grab it like a hurdle. Yeah. If you do not grab it, it turns into a coin. And I didn't grab it. I just walked under it.
It's a little rough.
It was a little heartbreaking. Yeah, I was a little sad. But yeah, that was how it went, and I didn't get very far in any of the games. I got much farther in 3D World, knowing that enemies turn into coins when you kill them. But I accidentally killed an enemy in World 2. So I made it all the way to World 2 using like a shortcut. Yeah. It's so hard to not collect coins in Mario. It's so hard. Definitely give it a try sometime if you're up for a challenge and you want to just kind of revisit some Mario games. I was just craving some Mario, you know? And let's see, what else have I been playing besides that? I'll have to pull up because I don't exactly remember. Oh, I also played Clubhouse 51 games. I've been kind of
Wait,
on
you
a
tried your speed run of that, didn't you?
yeah, I've been kind of on a kick with my streaming, and I didn't know what to stream for an evening. Like nothing sounded good, you know. I was like going to the fridge over and over again, and you look inside the fridge and you see all the food, and you're like, nothing in here looks good, and you close it, and then you open it back up and hope that like magically something different appeared. No, I did that a bunch on my Switch library. I have so many games to be playing right now, but just nothing sounded good at that moment. And then I had the epiphany to try running through all 51 games in Clubhouse 51 games in one stream. And let me tell you, that is a billion times harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, and I was like, I could probably do this in under an hour.
I mean, that's like a minute per game.
Yeah, I, in my mind, I think I was thinking like 25 games, even though it is called Clubhouse 51 games. I was like, I can do all of these. So, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking exactly, but the actual like speedrun world record is an hour and 15 minutes. So heck no, I wasn't gonna be getting it in under an hour. 2 hours in, when I'm on game like 8, I was like, probably not gonna get this all done in one sitting. I do want to try that again though because it was so fun. It was so fun. I was having a great time just trying to like speed through these games. And there were a couple games that gave me some grief. Nine Men's Morris, which I just don't understand the strategy in, and it took me a long time of getting beat up by the easiest level computer to like finally figure out how to play that game to win. And Ludo, which is the worst game ever. That's all I have to say.
I don't
It's
think I even played that one, but I believe it's similar to like Parcheesi or
it's
Sorry, is it?
yes, it's sorry, but without instead of cards, you're rolling dice. A single die actually, and you have to roll a 6 to get out, unless you change the setting to just be always have at least one piece out, and then it's just random. If you land on someone else's piece, they go back to their space,
Can you
and
create walls in Ludo? Like if you have two people, two of your own guys on the same line?
nope,
No. Okay.
nope, you just go. It is so boring, and it is so long, and it took me way too long to figure out that I could skip all the computer's turns. So yeah, that's the tactic. Uh, and I was playing with the I have to win the game to move to the next game. And that was my downfall because
This
Ludo
is the
is
world record.
random
Like
and it
you can
is
lose.
it is such a long game to then yeah, in the world record you can lose, but there is also a world record for have to win.
To
And I
win.
think it's not much more, but it is more. Um yeah. So those two games tripped me up pretty bad.
I just want to see like the have to win on the impossible settings speed run.
That's probably like it's probably super long
I mean, it's probably not. There are probably some people that are just disturbingly good
at
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 these games,
at
but
tabletop digital games.
especially that six ball puzzle, six man marble. What is that called?
Yeah, 6 ball puzzle.
Six ball puzzle.
And then as well, both you and I played some Risk of Rain 2. We streamed that.
Forgot to mention that.
Finally got to play the new update for Risk of Rain 2, and it's pretty great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got all the way to the boss world and had a very epic showdown there. Super good.
Micah
Super good
ran
way to
ahead.
end the stream.
I didn't have any power ups for speed,
Oh, he was
so
so slow.
I'm like miles behind him,
I
and
was like at least 10 times faster than him at that point.
and he runs out and he just gets obliterated
Well,
by
these four enemies fall from the sky. just for them like plopped right in front of me. I was like, well, I guess I'll punch them once and then like fall back or something. But I didn't realize they were all elite enemies with the fire ability. So once I got close to them, and since they're all right next to each other, their innate fire or just like essentially insta killed me, and
Yep.
I died. So
And then
that was a little.
I tried to run past those guys and did not make it. They sniped me from a
Oh yeah, I
very
mean, I
far
thought
away.
you were at that point.
It's not
I was
like we were
very
gonna make it
impressed with
very
their
far with just
abilities.
me fighting the boss. Oh
Oh yeah,
man,
they like totally revamped that last level.
yeah.
So it was a little disappointing to not be able to check it out some more.
We'll have to play some more. You know, we've got all these games going now that we can play. Uh, Definitely check out Risk of Rain 2, hidden gem on the Switch, I'd say. And then not so hidden gem, WarioWare, Get It Together. I've been playing a lot of the demo of WarioWare Get It Together. In fact, I'm gonna actually look at my playtime on that and see if I can see that. Not a crazy amount. I've done 3 hours, whereas it says you've done a little while.
Yeah, I think I played twice.
But for WarioWare demo, I think that's a pretty hefty amount of time. I've been going for like a personal best on that. It's so
What
fun
is your
and
personal best?
65.
It was like 60. Oh yeah, I think on my second try I got up to like 119 or something. No, I think my second time I actually randomly did really good. I think I got like mid 50s.
61 is the last one I posted. I don't know if I posted another personal best. It gets pretty insane. Like once you hit about 40, it is going just so blindingly fast that if you're caught off guard in any way, it's like, yep,
Yeah, if
that's
you don't
it.
realize exactly what you have to do like right away, then
Yeah.
you're toast.
Yep. So that's been about it for me as far as things I've been playing, and probably will continue to be about it for me for things I will be playing because I just don't have any more time. But I did download Super Animal Royale.
Yes, I forgot to download that myself.
So I will have to try that one out. Micah, I do have to talk about one that I busted out this week to play again. Jump rope challenge.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that you can change the goal on that to be like 3,000? 3,000 jump
Yes.
ropes a day? I'm going to play that on stream.
The question is, are you gonna actually be like jump roping, or
Oh
is it the
yeah.
classic sitting down, like slouching?
Listen. We're not gonna jump rope sitting down. I loved that demonstration. No, the thing is for these fitness games, I can't lie to myself and I can't lie to the people and not do it the right way. I have to do it the way you're supposed to play. You
The
know.
question is, when you play like Wii Sports, bowling, or tennis, are you sitting or are you standing?
I think I
I think
I
bowling, especially, you kind of need to stand.
yeah, I stand. I stand for bowling for sure. Tennis maybe on
Tennis, I
occasion.
mean, if you gotta stand though, get the full experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe when it first came out, I did more sitting, but nowadays, as an
Now
old
that you're
man,
more competitive.
yeah, as an old man, I have to play the right way. You know, right? Like I'm not a rebel.
Well,
I'm
I
not
mean,
a
you got
rebel
you gotta get like
teenager anymore. You know.
you gotta get your hip into the swing and whatnot. And that's hard to do while sitting.
Right, right. You could really hurt your back bowling while sitting down. I think I'm sure that's a thing.
But because then you have to like bowl really high, so you don't like hit the couch or something. It's just awkward.
Let's get bowling. Let's get Wii Sports on the Switch. Let's do it.
I want actually like Wii Sports goes to the Olympics or whatnot. I want some like random shot put because I just like to imagine lots of people just chucking just shot putting
Their
Wii
Joy-Con
remotes,
through
their
the
Joy
TV.
Cons. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why you wear
Joy-Cons.
the little strap.
They'll start selling those rubber cases again
Yeah,
to put on the front. Ah, man, hey, good times with the Wii. That has been it. That's it. Jump rope challenge. That's where I'm gonna end.
Save the best for last.
Yeah, man. Like, okay, I've taken up so much time already just talking about what we've been playing, and we have a lot of news to cover, Micah. So what do you say? What do you say we jump over to the Nintendo news? In today's Nintendo news, we've got lots of headlines. Starting off, PokemonTV is now available on the Nintendo Switch. It is an app featuring full episodes of Pokemon the series, as in the anime. From each of the animes, they have a selection of episodes playing, and I think they move chronologically through. So if you watched this week and then you go back next week, there will be new episodes, but the old episodes will be gone. I don't know how often they cycle out, but yeah.
So you got to watch like seasons 1 through 18, the first 3 episodes before they refresh to the next episodes. Seems like a very interesting way to watch Pokemon.
No, like they are refreshing for everybody constantly. It's like you can so if you go on right now, you'd be starting at like episode 30 of season 5. Or I don't know how many seasons or episodes there are per season. It's not like open access to all.
Yeah, I thought it was they showed some from like each season. It's not
They
like
do.
every season. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So you have to watch like the 3 episodes they have from however many different seasons they're showing, all in kind of the same time frame, if you want to watch all of them.
Yeah. Although, like, new seasons don't have too much story time. I mean, what are we getting some like overarching plot over the entire series? Not really. It's not that kind of anime. Sometimes I wish it was. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd love some more like complex Pokemon stories.
So you're not getting Hulu, you're not getting Disney Plus, you're not getting Netflix, but you can watch Pokemon. This is very on brand, I'd say.
Yeah.
Next up, Nintendo TV will be coming, and you'll be able to watch all the Pikmin shorts.
And that Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So check that out.
Remastered 4K.
I just should mention that Pokemon TV is free. It is free to use, free to play, free to play, free to watch. So cool.
I mean, you still hit the play button to watch things. It still fits.
Yes. Next in the news bit, we have. I'll talk about 2 games here. Shredder's Revenge, and Nickelodeon Brawler All Stars. Nickelodeon All Stars. I don't remember what it's called.
But yeah, Fighting Nickelodeon.
Both games revealed April O'Neil as a playable character.
They coordinated there.
What?
Do you think they coordinated to?
They had to have. Like,
time?
they were released so close together, and they look the same. Like, it's not. I mean, it is the like '80s cartoon April O'Neil, you know, not some new version. And I'll be honest. The Shredder's Revenge trailer for her looked really good. The moveset looked really fun. She has this move where she finishes an enemy by dropping the mic on them, like just drops it, and it like shocks them, and they are finished off.
A taser mic or something.
Yeah. And she uses like camera equipment to beat up guys. It seems pretty fun, and also pretty exciting news that Shredder's Revenge is going to have more playable characters than just the turtles. So, do you think we'll get Splinter?
Yeah,
Casey
give
Jones?
me Splinter. That's what I want.
I could see it happening. I don't feel like they're just going to add April O'Neil and be like, that's all you're getting, you know? I feel like they're going to add some more.
Yeah, I hope so.
What they what will be real crazy is if we get some like crossover not Ninja Turtles.
Get
They
Mario.
yeah, well, or
I
maybe
mean,
like
Yoshi, he's like kind of turtle-like.
I was gonna say Ryu or something like that. He seems to be in everything.
Yeah. Actually, what I want is just a standard Koopa
He plays.
from Mario.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because turtle.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, along with April O'Neil for the brawl for Nickelodeon Brawler, they announced Cat Dog, who was a shoe in. I mean, if they didn't have Cat
I
Dog,
mean,
it's like
you
what are you
gotta
what are you
have
doing?
Cat Dog.
What are you
He's
doing?
one of the three Nickelodeon cartoon characters I can name off the top of my head. Another one being those beavers that are angry, I believe, and
I don't think they've been shown yet, but they're probably in there. You know, it's
yeah, they have to be.
and
I think one of them's named Stinky, right? Isn't they? I have no idea.
very cool that they got their own little trailers similar to it's not as cool as like the Smash Bros trailers, but like maybe early Smash Bros. You know, like when they first started adding characters in their own little trailers. It's about that level of cool.
So what you're
Uh,
saying is they need to make it like four more games
yeah, or they
until
just
their
need to up
reveals
their
start getting
trailer
cool.
game, like start doing these like cinematic CG
Feature length
trailers.
films.
No, they don't need to do that. They could though. That would be pretty
I
funny.
mean, next Smash Bros. Game, I definitely want some nice feature length film character reveals. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. There's been some very cool character reveals for Smash Bros. What's your favorite character reveal that they've done for Smash Bros? Do you
Um,
have any that you can think of off the top of your head?
I mean, the best one I can think of is Link fighting Pit. I can't remember if it's
That
Palutena,
yeah,
right?
that's what I was gonna
That's the
say
one.
too. I was gonna say the same one where it's like anime Link and Pit like
Yeah,
duking it
actually,
out.
Ridley's was also really good.
Yeah, the other one that comes to mind is Castlevania. Gosh, what is his name?
Is that the one where Luigi becomes a
What
ghost
is
or
his
something?
name? Simon Belmont. My goodness, I can't believe I blanked on that. I thought Richter before I thought Simon. Anyways, that whole thing with Luigi dying and in like the haunted mansion, that was pretty good. And yeah, just all of them have been very good lately. But nothing quite beats that Palutena reveal for with the Pit Link versus, and it just makes me want a Smash Bros. Anime so bad. Like
Oh yeah,
I don't even watch anime, but I would be like
but you would.
all for that. Oh heck yeah, it was such a cool trailer. Another one that comes to mind, right, like while I'm on memory lane, is the Rosalina reveal, and that one was just really cool animation. With it was Rainbow Road, and Kirby gets hit by like a star and crashes on Rainbow Road, and all the Mario characters stop, and they're like Donkey Kong like pokes Kirby. Have you seen this one?
I know I have, but I do not remember this.
You will okay, after this you have to go watch that because that one's pretty great. Uh, I just love the unique ones like that. That one felt really unique. Yeah. So, moving on here. The Gamescom happened, and that was where we got a lot of the like we got the Shredder's Revenge news with no date yet, by the way. So hopefully that's not getting pushed, but it's gonna be great when it does come out. And I mean, honestly, there's a ton to play this year already, so if it does get pushed, it's not not horrible. I mean, I am bummed, but I also got new trailer and new info for the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, and that looks really good actually, and it's coming to like every platform. So Hopefully it looks as good in the trailer on Switch as it did in the trailer. I know it looked really good. Like,
Yeah, hopefully they're not using some like $12,000 PC to run that
yeah,
rendering and
the
stuff.
problem with the Lego Star Wars games is that they definitely do not look as good on Nintendo consoles, at least historically. Uh, I played the ones for Wii. I also played the ones for DS. And, it's like, obviously, I'm not expecting my DS to play at the quality of like an Xbox console, but they took some major hits on those to get them to run properly. And the one on the Wii just doesn't look as good as the other systems at the time. So I mean, I feel like the Switch has the power to look as good as it's looking in the trailers, but I don't know. I'm not an expert on graphics.
Depends on how well they put it all together, I guess. How efficient.
That's but we're not done with Lego, Micah. We're not done there because there's also Lego news with Lego Super Mario. Uh, the Lego and My Nintendo, Lego VIP and My Nintendo have teamed up to give Super Mario Lego rewards. The big one being a keychain that on My Nintendo you can get the Mario, and on Lego VIP you can get the Luigi. Oh man, I better not have mixed those up or I'm gonna look real dumb. Uh, that's yeah. So that's the thing is like if you want to get the set, you got to get one on each, and they kind of cross promote each other. You can if you sign up for one, you get points for the other, and vice versa. So
I might
free
have to go
two
sign
hundred
up for
dollar
this Lego one.
$200 free 200
Oof.
silver coins for My Nintendo rewards. My goodness, I am like struggling to get any words out of my mouth at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's a cool reward. Oh, it's already out of stock.
Oh,
I'm
neither
looking
is
at it right now.
started yet.
So yeah, there you go. I couldn't tell if it was a 3D keychain or not. It kind of looks 3D. It looked weird.
Yeah, I looked at it quickly and I didn't pay that much attention. I just kind of assumed it would be
Yeah.
3D.
Also, how is that sold out and the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD acrylic paint panel art is not? You want
Probably
to show
because they
that
got
off?
a
You've
lot
got
of these.
you've got yours right there. Boom! Look at that. It is so
So
classy.
shiny.
It is so classy looking. Definitely go spend your 1,000 points. Maybe it's because it's 1,000 points.
Yeah,
It's a
that's a
little
good
more
point.
spendy on the points. So yeah, that's the My Nintendo rewards and Lego VIP news. Now let's talk Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread. I am going to preface this with there have been a lot of comments on this new trailer that maybe it was a little too spoilery, but it is an official trailer by Nintendo. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this with potential spoiler-ish stuff in this conversation. So plug your ears if you don't want that, but Nintendo's giving it to you, so you might want it. This is gonna get you hyped for the game. It doesn't really explain what is happening. Mike is not even gonna listen to me. So it showed some new enemies and some returning enemies. A returning boss, Kraid. Kraid is back. Do you know who Kraid is, right, Micah?
Yeah,
The
getting
big.
back to that Smash Bros. Level.
Yeah. From that Smash Bros. Level, that guy from the Smash Bros. Game. And yeah, he died. He died, but he's back because in the world of Metroid, no one dies. Everybody's back. Just ask Ridley.
Yeah, how many
Uh,
times have we supposedly beaten him?
Ridley was not shown, but we can all guarantee he's going to be back in some form. If Kraid's back, Ridley's back, right? And then it also showed
Is
this.
this Ridley wearing a massive Kraid bodysuit?
It also showed this ancient Chozo that is wearing a power suit similar to Samus, but it's like it's got like a Chozo helmet, And the trailer ends with the Chozo holding Samus up in like a chokehold with its gun arm aimed at it, and it like shoots, and
That's how the game ends, I believe.
it's real intense. Yeah, spoilers. The game ends right there. uh, the real spoiler is Samus is gonna take off her helmet at the very end of the game, and Micah, you know what's
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because it's actually Donkey Kong, and it's a fake ending, and the game continues in a more Donkey Kong style
and now
platformer.
you are playing Donkey Kong. If there was anything that would scream more Dan Caparello from Retro Logic, I think it would be that. That's about as it's about as crazy as it gets. He's a huge Donkey Kong fan and also loves Metroid. So that would be pretty funny if that happened.
Like, can you imagine like the backlash? Like,
I don't care. I want it to happen just because that would be so great. They should do that in not Donkey Kong, but like a somehow Samus someone else puts on the power suit and you think that they die or something, but it was actually someone else. That would be a pretty sweet twist to one of the game plots. Anyways, the gameplay, it's looking even more polished. I don't know if that's possible, but it's looking even more polished than it did before in this new trailer. I gotta say, my hype level for this game has risen significantly after watching this trailer. So maybe spoilery, but definitely if you're on the fence, go watch it because it looks very good.
which is why I have not watched it, because I don't need to become more hyped. It'll just make it seem like it's farther away.
Yeah,
The release date.
it's about a month is all we're waiting now.
Practically a month and a half
Yeah.
ish.
And
11
then
days or so.
so that's Metroid, and then the last little bit of news I want to talk about from Gamescom. That Metroid was not part of Gamescom, but this was part of Gamescom. It was Midnight Suns, a Marvel game developed by the team behind XCOM. So it looks like it's gonna be like a tactical game. But you were saying you saw that it was not gonna be like XCOM.
I just read. I mean, I believe it's still the same kind of tactical shooter. Not really, but supposedly some of the devs have mentioned that the mechanics are very different, because instead of being some like humans fighting like supposedly the unstoppable alien army and whatnot, you're essentially a team of superpowers fighting a bunch of people that aren't nearly as strong as you. So it seems like it's more your team is more powerful, but you'll be fighting more people at once, kind of a thing, and you all have like specific abilities depending on what characters you're using.
That makes sense. That explanation makes sense because it's opposite in XCOM. You're pretty weak by comparison to
Yeah,
the
and
enemies.
a lot of the times you just gotta like bail, like know when to engage and when to sneak past and just get out of there. But
Yeah.
I'm
Which
pretty
I guess
excited
this
about
makes
this.
sense for a superhero game because you if you had to be a sneaky superhero, that would be kind of
I mean, there are some sneaky superheroes, so who knows? Maybe there'll be some certain levels where I don't know how they do it, but you just have one or two people doing sneaky things.
yeah, I don't
But
know. I don't know.
I trust the XCOM team, so I'm pretty excited to see how this turns out.
The only bummer thing is that they didn't show any gameplay. This was all super cinematic trailers. But gameplay should be coming soon. If I recall, it will be coming out
Yeah,
very
because I
quickly.
feel like this has actually was actually mentioned like quite a while ago. So hopefully they're pretty far in to development. I hope,
Yeah.
and it won't be too long before it comes out.
And lastly, Michael, let's talk a little bit about some big-ish news happening in the retro gaming world as some deception has potentially come to light in retro game sales. Uh, we've been reporting on we've been reporting on and talking about games going for hundreds of thousands of dollars, upwards to over $1 million for sealed mint condition games. Uh, Recently, a little mini documentary on what has happened and what may be going on by Karl Jobst, who's a YouTuber who was also pretty heavily involved in the speedrunning community, and also in I don't know if he himself is a game collector, but he is very interested in the game collecting scene, which is why he did this piece. And essentially, the higher ups within the auctioning house that is selling these games at those prices, and the what is it called, the rating service, the higher ups in both of those, some of them are the same people, and some are and they definitely know each other and coordinate in ways that may be a little sketchy. Now, a lot of this is speculation, but there is a lot of evidence that suggests that they're pumping up the prices in these for the headlines and artificially inflating the whole market. And prices on all sorts of games are going up, and more people are going to this specific auction house and this specific rating company because that's where the money is being made. And it's not good overall because it is creating an artificial bubble within the gaming market. And you can see this very easily when looking at games prices from like 5 years ago to now, going up like 50 times the amount, which just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, especially on some of these games where there's actually a lot of games in really good condition that it's artificial. And that's so I never looked into these. I just saw the headlines. And I'm starting to think that the people writing these articles also didn't really look deep into these and just saw the numbers and the headlines. And the goal is to really just self-promote their auction house and get more people to come to them for ratings and to come to them for those sales, because they get percentage cuts of all the sales made at the auction house. So pumping up prices of games to be games that aren't actually worth $1 million to be worth $1 million, very beneficial for the people that are running both the auction and the rating service. First off, those people shouldn't mix, because that's a major conflict of interest, because these guys could be easily faking the ratings and then sending it over to this auction house, which is selling it like, oh, look at this highly rated, pristine condition because these guys said it was. Well, because we're friends and they gave us a really good rating. Not good. That, and there's like no proof as to who bought these games at that price because they're not releasing that information. There's just a lot of shady stuff going down.
It wouldn't really surprise me. It kind of makes a lot of sense just because, I mean, there were suddenly games going for so much money.
So be leery of that as you're out there looking at the headlines. You know, I'm here to say we made some mistakes, I think, in jumping on talking about those, but we're here now to hopefully own up to those and go check out the little mini documentary on this by Karl Jobst on YouTube if you are interested in learning a bit more. He presents it very interestingly. And yeah, it's like, you know, get your tinfoil hats out, because there's some like weird conspiracy stuff going down, and it kind of lines up with, there's like this trend going on in markets, money markets across the spectrum. You know, we had this whole like GameStop stock situation and just the stock market turnaround and mix up, and it's a lot of like trying to make quick bucks off of these pricing bubbles that just are not sustainable, and it's scary, and it's hopefully it's not gonna mess things up, you know. uh yeah yeah yeah. Anyways, that was kind of like I don't know if that's super applicable to our show, but you know, a lot of those games being sold at those prices were popular Nintendo games. That's the other thing. It's like they're popular games, and that's what's getting in the headlines because they are games that everybody loves. You know, everybody loves Mario 64.
I mean,
Everybody
which is
loves...
definitely why they didn't try it with like Plock or something, because
Yeah,
who would even
Plock
care in the
sells
first
for
place?
2 million. Yeah, that's the thing. Is Plock is probably a rarer game, right?
Yeah, the one
And
that's
would
being made. So
in theory sell for more because there are less of them. But you know, there's also there is
there's
that
also
mix.
no demand. It has a lot. It has little supply, but also zero demand because
Not
nobody
zero
cares.
demand. Hold up.
Okay, there's one demand, but you already own Plock, so there's actually zero demand.
I need everybody to hop onto our social medias and just let Micah know he's wrong. Plock is king. Plock will always win. Plock is the best.
You're gonna say is Plock better than Spelunky 2?
No.
Is Plock
Better than Wind
better
Waker?
than
Yes. Yes.
Ocarina of Time?
100% better than Wind Waker.
Yeah, as someone who hasn't played Wind Waker, I feel like you're not fully qualified to make that comparison.
Yeah, as someone who doesn't who played Ocarina of Time and doesn't like it, I don't think you're really qualified to make any comparisons. So, let's move on to the next segment of the show. How does this come up every episode, Micah? I feel like you're trying to pull something.
It was your fault for talking about how some things are popular, which obviously brings up how some things aren't popular. Like,
Oh my goodness. My goodness. So at least we have variety on this show, right? Oh no, we don't because we talk about this every single week.
last week, I think we might not have last week. We gave everyone a 1 week break.
Yep. Let's give everyone like a permanent break. Until I play Wind Waker. When I have time. Let's move to the rumor mill, though. Yeah. All right, we got one rumor in the rumor mill. There is the rumor of GTA remastered trilogy in production and coming to Switch in the fall.
That's pretty soon for us to not know anything about it.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Rumor.
Maybe the announcement's coming in the fall.
Could be.
That could be. I don't know. I'm not into GTA, which is Grand Theft Auto. I'm not into Grand Theft Auto. Did you know that? It's so funny.
I mean, I always steal cars and things.
If you watched my Spelunky Let's Plays, you'd be surprised by this, probably.
Actually, you would be, yeah. He's a monster in that game.
But Grand Theft Auto, the series, I don't think I have played any. Oh, no, wait. I did play whatever one was on PC, the top-down Grand Theft Auto.
Like the original, practically.
Yeah. I did play that.
Well, I actually have never played any Grand Theft Auto game.
So we're not really qualified to give opinions on whether or not it's good or bad, but it's coming, potentially.
No. Yeah, and it's probably better than Ocarina of Time.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the most popular games ever. It's up there. So that coming to Switch wouldn't be super surprising to me. It seems like, you know, if it's popular, it's on Switch. Right? Like you know, people will be like, well, what about Last of Us? No, I'm talking about games that, like, sell, like, the crazy numbers. Like Minecraft, like Tetris, like Wii Sports. Get this Last of Us out of here. Like, Last of Us not selling like Wii Sports. No, I tease because, like, there's a lot of popular console exclusives, right? But if it's not console exclusive and it's really, really popular, it's probably coming to Switch in some form. Like that seems to be what's happening.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense with how many units the Switch has sold.
Yeah,
Why
it
not?
really does. And it seems to be a system that's targeting the retro side of gaming. Uh, so remasters of old games are plentiful, as well as just ports of old games coming over. Yeah, it's
Well, do you
totally.
think, kind of off topic, do you think the Switch is gonna get the 10th anniversary Skyrim remake remaster?
It wasn't announced as part of it. I don't think.
I just I just can't believe how hard they are milking that game. Like,
But Micah, there's gonna be some new features this time.
I
Fishing.
suppose it's oh yeah, I did hear about that. That is pretty exciting.
I was also, when I saw that, I was like, that's not in there already. Why?
And I mean, so unless I'm
Listen,
wrong, I think they're taking a lot of like the mods that people have done. So they're like not even doing the work. They're just like, oh man, this stuff is cool. Yeah, let's put that in. They're milking this game and not even putting any effort into it anymore.
and then you're like, well,
I
so
mean, that's not true. They're
what
still probably
happened?
putting quite a bit of effort.
Then you're like, what about Elder Scrolls 6? And they're like,
Oh,
Skyrim 10th Anniversary
okay.
Edition.
Yeah,
Just don't pay
yeah.
attention to us over here. We haven't done anything yet. Gosh.
I mean, it feels like the game's been out longer than 10 years with how many times it's been remastered. It literally like popped up as like 10th year anniversary. I was like, it's only been 10
Micah,
years?
can you find me a list of how many times this game has been
Oh man.
re-released? It has to have at least been 10 times.
Like for real though.
Oh, what a good time. I'm glad you brought that up. I had forgotten about that already. Fishing. Do you know what game had fishing, way before that? Ocarina of Time. It's like,
Yeah, but well, no, yeah, I guess they do have that fishing spot. As that first thing you
what are
just
you
like
even
catch
gonna
with a
do with
jar,
that?
and
What are
I'm
you even
like,
gonna do with that in Skyrim? Like, it was pointless in Ocarina of Time. It's
it's the
fun.
fish.
It's fun, but
How dare you? Fishing is actually the best part of Ocarina of Time. Wow,
I apologize.
that's
I didn't realize
disrespect.
I will not disrespect fishing in Ocarina of Time ever again because any love you can give to that game, I will take.
Um, okay, I just looking it up. Supposedly, just based off this article title, as of 2017, it's been re-released 7 times.
That's not enough. I don't think that's right. I feel
That's as
like
of 4 years ago.
4 years ago, and
Yeah.
they've definitely and they wait and Switch. So Switch, we can add that to it. Came out on Switch, and then another edition also came out about the same time as the Switch. So maybe like two more beyond that.
Wait,
So it's this will be the 10th, right? If that's true.
I don't understand.
Once a year re-release your game. Why haven't we got in on this model? Like let's do this. Okay, yeah, I have to go back to the Ocarina of Time thing, Micah. We have to. I feel like you owe an apology to the Nintendo community for disrespecting like such a beloved title so much. Like, are we
Are you
losing
about talk
listeners?
here? I'm so
No,
confused.
no, 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 no. We're talking about Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like you're putting the whole show at risk with this just like mad disrespect to
I
like
mean, maybe Nintendo, when they made Ocarina of Time, should have just made it a little better.
it was made on the Nintendo 64. I just can't. I saw someone
Yes,
post
but the text speed. I mean, they could have made that better. They had the technology.
probably
That is one of the most
especially
painful
because in the
parts.
game
That's like the
it
worst
does
part.
happen. It does happen in the game only during certain conversations.
Yeah, and when you skip it, it like completely skips everything. Unless I'm wrong, I don't think you can skip like one page at a time.
Yeah. Um
I mean,
so I saw a post. This is semi-related, but not really. I saw a post on Twitter from someone that was like, "Wow, games peaked during the GameCube era." And I was like, this person needs to listen to our podcast because Micah needs friends, you know?
It's kind of true.
Like,
I don't know if I want to say truth, but
I don't agree with that. I mean, like, I think that
that's because you haven't played any of the incredible GameCube games.
I have played incredible GameCube games.
You played one.
Which one was it?
I can't remember. Mario Sunshine. I can't think of the name.
I played Mario Sunshine. I played Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah, but I mean,
that doesn't count. How does that not count as one of the greatest? Okay, whatever. I'm over it. Oh man, no. The GameCube I think has fantastic games. I want to say that because that brought us Pikmin, that brought us Luigi's Mansion.
I think with the technology, that is like the peak of gaming. Ish.
I don't know. I just think it was a good time. I think it was a great time in gaming, but I think almost every time
there were, I mean, especially like the GameCube, there were a lot of good games that came out in that era.
Yeah.
I mean, it was,
but
there were a lot.
Like, you could say the same thing about the NES. Like, oh man, like that was like peak gaming for the time. Yes, all of these for the time because Nintendo just does what Nintendo does. The only exception I can think of is maybe the Wii U, but I don't agree with what happened. You know, like I'm like the Wii U was fantastic.
Yeah, Zombie U. I'm not into horror games, and I never actually finished playing it. But like just the mechanic of having your backpack inventory on the gamepad while things are still happening on the screen. So if you like need to go into your inventory or something, you don't pause the game. You just got to be quick, make sure no zombies come and kill you at the same time.
Yes,
I think it's a great mechanic for like a horror game that could only happen on the Wii U.
Yes, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. There's a lot of awesome things about the Wii U. Okay, I had this thought occur to me today, Micah. What if? I've been watching What If, the Marvel series. You know, in an alternate universe, if the Wii U came out before the Wii, okay, or instead of the Wii, that would be the Wii. It would be that successful, right?
Would it though?
Okay, so let's say we skip the Wii era, and we went from GameCube to Wii U. I feel like that the Wii U would have been as successful as the Wii. I mean, because it is the same, like, it can do all the same games, right?
So yeah, that's true. It just has the added gamepad.
Yeah. And that kind of boggles my mind that it as a console could have been, if it had just come out a little bit earlier and been like what the Wii, like, came out at the Wii time, it would have been the top selling Nintendo console of all time. So all these people,
Nintendo Land would have had the respect it deserves.
It would be up there with the Wii Sports sales. Like, that's what it would be, the Wii Sports sales, right? Oh man, in this alternate universe, the Wii U is still thriving right now. Like, the Switch is out and it's been out. And the Switch will still come out, I think, in this alternate reality. And it will have completely unique games because they won't be porting anything. Listen, okay, all of their first party games have been ported to the Switch. The games were good, right? Like, they're coming over here because they're like, our games were fantastic over here. The console itself was a good idea. I'm gonna ride this, right? I think that if it had come out at the Wii time, it would be $100 million, not $100 million, 100 million units sold console. Like, I just think that's what would have happened. And so all these people that, like, dog on the Wii U that are like, man, the Wii U flopped. It wasn't that good of a console. Those people just like, no, it was great. It was great. It was just wrong,
Misunderstood.
bad timing, misunderstood. Yeah, I like that.
Plus, then there'd be a lot of really cool, unique, asynchronous games that actually use the gamepad. It's like a separate screen, like Nintendo Land.
Yeah, I'm okay. But now that I've like hyped up the Wii U, I am gonna say it is not without its flaws. That gamepad battery was terrible. It like lasted like maybe 2 hours off the charger, and it feels like not as nice quality. Like it doesn't like it's a good size, but it kind of looks like a Fisher Price toy. You know, like it's a little too plasticky, not
Well,
as sleek, and as nice looking as the Switch.
But to be fair, it was probably more comfortable to hold because it wasn't as sleek.
Yeah,
Fit in your hands a little better.
I mean, I've got it right. Look, you've got it right there, don't you?
Actually, I do. That's pretty close. I can reach without unplugging my headphones.
Yeah, I've got mine. I've got mine because we still play ours. Because Nintendo Land isn't on Switch yet. And yeah, I'd say ergonomically, it looks great. But like you hold this up next to the Switch, and you're like, this is just not as sleek and as
There's
appealing.
A lot more not screen for the size.
This looks like a kid's game console, and this looks like, you know, just an everyone game console.
But don't forget, this had a TV remote functionality to it.
Oh,
incredible.
Yeah, we used that a lot. I remember.
There were a few times I lost my remote, and I used this.
Yeah, and the screen quality wasn't as nice, but
yeah,
so it's not without its flaws. The third-party support was at launch, and
well, there's actually some people jump in Ubisoft.
Yeah,
they supported it pretty good. But,
until they didn't, because
until it kind of flopped. Yeah,
but a lot of the third-party games that launched with the Wii U
were missing features,
or were like old games being re-released on the Wii U, and for some reason that wasn't okay. But now that it happens on the Switch, it is okay. like that's the thing, is that's what's happening here, and it's working. It's working. I just feel like
if enough are sold.
Yeah, I just feel like some cosmic accident happened to just really, really make the Wii U fail. There's like a lot of reasons. Maybe we could do a whole episode on this. You know, we talk about like what happened, but I think it's not as bad as rep as it gets. You know.
Yeah, and back to the peak of gaming thing. I will say, Thousand Year Door, probably the peak
of Paper Mario. I can agree with that, and I haven't played it. I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's the peak of Paper Mario right there. Not that I didn't like future installments. Like, I actually liked Super Paper Mario on the Wii.
Yeah, Origami King, it was pretty good.
Origami King is pretty fun.
I feel like it was mostly the story that I enjoyed, but I mean the rotating puzzle thing that wasn't too bad.
And the music's phenomenal. The writing, there's a lot of good elements there, but yeah, you're right. It definitely peaked at the GameCube era. There's probably several series. Actually, okay, so maybe that's where we're coming in, where people are like, games peaked. Because when I think about it, like Star Fox kind of peaked at the GameCube as well. F-Zero. I mean, but that's because they just ended there, basically.
Yeah, they stopped. I mean, Luigi's Mansion peaked for a while until they finally made a couple more.
Yeah. Anyways, this has been completely off the rails. But speaking of completely off the rails, we missed a news item I wanted to talk about, Micah. There's a new anime coming out.
Oh, that's right.
We had the perfect opportunity to talk about it earlier. Rhythm Boxing for the NintendoSwitch is getting an anime. This is not made up. This is not made up. This is real.
October this year. And it will
Rhythm Fitness
supposedly be.
Boxing is
It'll,
a fitness boxing game on the Switch. Is it first party developed? I don't think it is. Maybe?
I don't know. I don't. I didn't think so, but
Rhythm Fitness Boxing? Well, we'll have to find it real quick. Uh,
developed by
it's
Imagineer,
by
I believe.
Imagineer and published by Nintendo. So
Okay.
it is published by Nintendo. So it's not first party, but it is. And yeah, it's getting its own anime, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's supposedly like following the trainers slash coaches after they get off work or something, just around their daily lives.
that's
Don't know much.
listen. This is like if We Fit got an anime,
Yeah, I should
and
have double checked to make sure this didn't like this even like article didn't come out on like April 1st or something. But I'm pretty sure this is real.
uh, and now I want that. I want a We Fit anime so bad. I didn't know I wanted that, but now I want that because that would just be so funny.
It'll be
It's
the introduction into the Smash Bros. Cinematic universe.
oh man, that would just be it would just be really funny to watch their inhumanly perfect movement all day, like what they do at home, like they like do just everything perfectly because they have perfect form in everything. Like you watch them in Super Smash Bros, their running is just like almost robotic. It's so perfectly in tune and stepping, and they're they're hanging on the ledge, they're doing chin-ups on the ledge, like it's just so funny. And I just feel like that would be just a great time to be a series. And you know what? If this is how we get the Nintendo Cinematic Universe started, then so be it. I'll take it with Fitness Boxing 2, Rhythm and Exercise, the anime. Anyways, that does it for that does it for the rumor mill, which is completely off the rails. But let's go to the very last segment of our show, which is the community corner. And in today's community corner, we are talking where the focus is all on Spelunky, my favorite game, indie game ever.
And what? I guess.
What?
What?
What? And one? Oh, you were talking to somebody else.
No. Well, you said the focus is Spelunky, and then I added two, but then it's also kind of focusing a little bit on
Okay.
Spelunky
I was
one
like,
as
what?
well.
Wait.
So
I just heard and one. Okay. Yes. So there's a couple. I've been asked this question several times. I'll give a couple of the examples here. We got from Textray in Discord asks, should I start with Spelunky 2 or is the original good enough? Rizzle29 says, if I were to buy one Spelunky game, which one should I grab? Several people during streams have asked, which one should we get? Micah, I'll let you go first. What's your opinion on this?
well, I'd say it is the original good enough. I would say actually yes. Yes, the original is good enough. But the second one is just as good, but a little better, I'd say. But I mean, you could definitely play through the first one and then hit up the second one. Or
So,
if I mean, even if money is real tight, you could pick up the first one instead of the second because it's only 10 instead of 20. But I would say the second one is definitely the definitive game to get.
yes. So, there's a couple elements to this. Story wise, do you need to play the first one before you play the second one? No, absolutely not. This game doesn't really focus on story. Uh,
Yeah, they're like,
it,
oh boy, let's go to the moon. Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. The first game follows the main character, Spelunky Man. I don't know his name, Spelunker. Uh, and
They probably say at some point.
he is basically Indiana Jones, and he finds this mythical cave where he is looking for super treasure, and the cave is cursed with Olmec's curse, which makes it so if you die, you start back at the beginning, and
Yeah,
time
not
doesn't work.
too much of a curse though.
Yeah. Well, time works differently in the caves. Like that's the plot is like every time you die, you just seem to end up back at the beginning, like when and you go back through, and yeah, so they are in looking for that treasure. You end the game by you get to the treasure, and if you want the true ending, you get to the secret treasure as well.
And beat up Olmec,
Uh,
potentially.
Olmec's the gold head. So he's the regular final boss, but there's a secret boss that I don't remember 100%. Anyways, story
I have no
wise,
idea who that is.
the
then.
second game, that guy has a kid, and he and his wife he starts seeing Olmec on the moon. So they build a rocket ship and they go to the moon, and they don't return. And so then his daughter goes up and does Spelunky. Like it's the same, but it's on the moon. It starts out like they find the cave on the moon, and it's a similar thing. You go through the caves, and if you die, you go back to the beginning. It's a roguelike. So story wise, it tells you all you need to know at the beginning of Spelunky 2, and really there's not much of a plot. Like that's it. It sounds a lot like what I'm describing it, but that literally takes 30 seconds to explain in both games. So story wise, you can just go ahead and start on 2. You don't need to play 1 to know what's going on in 2.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, very similar games. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, think of Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. Very similar mechanics, almost the same mechanics, maybe with some slight
Different
tweaking.
levels, essentially.
Yeah, and different levels. So if you're looking for a recommendation on which one to buy, Spelunky 2 has the online. Spelunky 1 does.
That's big.
Spelunky 1 does not have online multiplayer. It does have local multiplayer with up to 4 players. Playing the campaign like that is difficult. Micah and I did it back in the day. I would say we didn't necessarily like it that way. We talked about how, man, I wish this was split screen. But with the online, each of you has your own screen, and it does not use a single camera. That's the problem with the first game, is it tracks one player, and everybody else has to kind of keep up with or stay close to that character. And that's restrictive and hard, especially for what the game is. Yeah. The online's a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you weren't going to play online at all, it wouldn't be that big of a change. But if you want to play online with people, Spelunky 2 for sure.
That being said, if you're asking for my personal recommendation, I say spend the extra money and get Spelunky 2. That's going to be the more definitive experience. I would not say that for Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, so it's slightly different for that. Like I would say I kind of lean more towards Mario Galaxy 1 than 2. But Spelunky 2 is better in every way. And the first game is basically was my favorite game of all time, and so this is like more of that and improved in every way. One thing I noticed right off the bat is that because I went back and played Spelunky for review, you have to hold a run button to run, and it's flipped in Spelunky 2. You actually hold a button to walk, because you spend most of the game running anyways. It makes sense to have that flipped around. There's definite differences in quality of graphics, as well as like dynamic lighting and just things that you see in newer games that didn't exist at the time Spelunky was originally made. Now, Spelunky originally was a pixel game. Did you know that, Micah? Before being made into Spelunky HD, which is the version that is on Switch.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I just didn't really know there was a difference between Spelunky and Spelunky on the Switch.
And spoilers here, but Spelunky 2 may have a cameo from the original Spelunky guy, like the pixel one. I saw it in a video somewhere. I don't know how they got there, but yeah. So that's pretty cool. It's just, yeah, if I'm going to make a recommendation, I gotta say get Spelunky 2. Okay, that's my recommendation. If you're just going to get one, get the second one. If you're curious, get both. And I don't know. Like I don't see this going on like super sale anytime soon. So like waiting for a sale, I don't know if that will be worth it. It's totally worth the $20. Totally worth the $20.
Yeah.
Spelunky 1,000% worth $10. Like, yeah, and Spelunky 2 is 1,000% worth what its cost is. So with that, let's.
Andros practically has already gotten his money's worth, and it's been about 2 days. So
Oh yeah, the first game I sunk over 100 hours into. I think I got 127 hours recorded on Steam. I got every achievement, which means I beat the game in less than 8 minutes. I also beat the game without collecting any money, and all sorts of other things. Like you have to find all these secret worlds and do all these things. I just had so much fun with the game. I wanted to play all of these things. And you may be
getting
going
eaten
like,
by a
"Oh
giant
man,
worm.
yep, yep,
That was
yeah,
fun.
yeah." You may be thinking like, "Well, should I get this on Steam because I want the achievements?" No, they actually added those in game in Spelunky 2 in feats. So I don't know. I should have checked if those are in Spelunky as well. But in Spelunky 2, they added their stuff as like in-game achievements. So with that heavy recommendation,
Yeah, essentially the only reason to buy the first one over the second is just that it costs less. But I
yeah,
can't think of anything gameplay wise that
but
would.
$10, a $10 difference,
Yeah,
just like
not much.
just skip the like morning soda or coffee or whatever for a couple days and just get the sequel. Like it's worth it.
Assuming you get morning coffee.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like search your couch cushions for some loose change. Get that, just wrangle up that extra $10. It's worth it.
Sell a
Seriously.
kidney and you can buy like 1,000 Spelunky 2s.
So, Micah, now let's talk about the like a little meat section here of our community corner before we close out the show, and give our top 5 Spelunky items. This list is going to be a little weird because we have not yet finished Spelunky 2. It's only been out for 2 days.
Probably, especially a lot of secret items that you can probably get as well.
Yes. So I haven't like formulated my list exactly, but I have everything up here in front of me. And yeah, I'm ready to talk through the different things. So, Micah, what do you want to pick for your? Do you have a list up? Do you have a list of the items up?
So many. I do not recognize like half these items. Not gonna lie.
All right. Well, I will go with for my number 5, and this is. I think all of these games are in Spelunky 2 plus more, but we'll just be talking about the ones from Spelunky. My number 5 is going to be the Royal Jelly. Royal Jelly.
That's only your 5?
Yep. Royal Jelly boosts your health, I think, by how much? 4 health. So it essentially doubles your health. And that is super helpful, especially at the point that you get it in the game is usually in the 2nd level. So,
but you also have to fight like a bunch of bee creatures.
Yeah, but once you know how to defeat them, it's fairly easy. You their beehives are filled with little honey spots, and you can blow up the wall of the hive in such a way that the queen bee can't get to you. And the queen bee is what drops this jelly. So if you can get into a little spot where the queen bee can't get to you, and then just drop a bomb in there, it blows up the queen bee, and you get this royal jelly, which is like essentially free for life. Life points are especially helpful in this game because you can get combo killed to just oblivion.
Yeah. Although sometimes it's not useful having a bunch of health because there are also a few things that just insta-kill you.
Yes. So, Michael, what are you going to pick for your number 5?
On number 5, I'll probably go with the spike boots.
Nice.
Essentially just means you kill things better by jumping on them.
Insta-kill everything by jumping on it. Well, some of the things with beefier health.
Yeah.
Takes a couple jumps. But
and some things that you couldn't hurt previously, you now can by jumping on them.
Yep. That's a good one. Next for me, I will probably say the Scepter for number 4.
The dangerous one.
Yeah, but it's really, really helpful. You do need the Scepter to unlock a secret area, but it also is a weapon. You kill the Anubis in the temple level and unlock this thing. When you shoot it, it shoots out a beam that moves from enemy to enemy. It's not a beam, a little circle.
Like a disc circle.
A little circle that moves from enemy to enemy, and it takes them out. Just like, and then moves to the next one, moves to the next one. If the
enemy behind you...
Yes. The only problem is if there is an enemy, if you get in its path, it will also kill you.
Yeah.
It doesn't home on you, but it might home on something close to you. So you got to kind of be careful when you shoot it that there is nothing behind you, because it moves from thing to thing, and then it gets stuck on things that have bodies afterwards. Because a lot of enemies, when you defeat them, they just like kind of they're gone, like Zelda style. But then some of the enemies, like their corpse stays behind, and it will just like sit there and get stuck on that for a long while, and then all of a sudden just fly off, and that's pretty scary. But yeah, it's super, super great for clearing out levels. You just have to shoot it once, and you're set basically for that level. That's my number 4.
Probably go with the climbing gloves for number 4.
Really, you're picking some real base items, which is nice.
Exactly. Some of the base items are my favorite items.
Yeah, the climbing gloves are nice. I didn't like them as much in the first game because you didn't get to control when you grabbed.
Yeah, it was a little more difficult.
They improved the control. They improved the control for Spelunky 2. Yeah, and then you essentially don't need ropes anymore.
Yeah, for the most part, which getting stuck somewhere without a rope is kind of the worst. Like the most disappointing way to end a run.
All right, what would be next here? I'm kind of at a tie here. I think I'm just gonna go with the shotgun. The good old shotgun. The shotgun is sometimes sold in shops, but the most common way you're going to see it is from robbing the shop. If you ever take something from the shop, the storekeeper is insane. Like, he just goes ballistic. He'll start jumping around and firing the shotgun like mad. And if you can defeat him, you'll get the shotgun. And you will need that because the angry shopkeeper will follow you for the rest of the game.
Every single level.
And he will be at the exit waiting for you to appear. So you'll need that. It was between that and like I don't know. There were several items that I between that and the Maddock, which for me is like really, really nice to have a way to mine your way through walls and things.
I guess
What's
I
your
was
number?
also going to say the shotgun.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, there's nothing quite as exhilarating as making the shopkeeper angry. I don't know. Maybe I'm a
Exhilarating. I don't know if that's quite how I describe
maybe
it, but
and maybe I am a monster in Spelunky. It's funny because typically when we play games, Micah is the one that will be like, "Let's do something stupidly dangerous for no reason." Once I figured out that you can defeat the shopkeeper and just get all the stuff in the store for free, it was like, I'm just gonna do that from now on because I want all that stuff. And Micah is like, no, we should not. Let's not anger the shopkeeper.
because let's face it, the reason we die like 90% of the time is because the shopkeeper kills us
I don't
once
think
we
it's
get inside it.
90% of the time. I think 90% of the time we die because we've killed ourselves.
I would say not counting for the times we kill each other, which I mean, if one of us
Or
didn't have a
or
shotgun, we probably wouldn't have
ourself.
actually killed someone else because of it.
Yeah, or ourself on like traps. The traps really do get you in this game because they just
Yeah.
blend in so well. I feel like they're worse in Spelunky 2 than they were in the first game. Like I just don't recognize the in the forest especially. I don't recognize the spike traps, and then I'm
The
like,
spike
I'm
trap,
dead.
yeah, they blend in I mean, they don't actually blend in that well once you know what you're looking for, but every once in a while you just
Forget.
miss one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I'll let you go next. What are you gonna pick for your number two?
I'm kind of gonna tie a little bit with the jetpack and Vlad's cape
I was gonna pick the jetpack as well.
because I mean, being able to fly, super nice. It's not unlimited, which is why I'm pairing it with the Vlad's cape because that gives you a second jump, and you also have like indefinite gliding, so you fall slowly capabilities.
The only problem with Vlad's cape is that it is so far into the game. Like, isn't that at the
Yeah,
very end of the secret level? Or the very like it's at the secret
it's
level,
like
like the
right
secret
before
world.
the secret level. I thought.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna say jetpack as well. Traversal with the jetpack is so nice. It can save you from fall damage, and you can basically
You don't need ropes once again.
yep yep. That's my that's my number two as well. In Spelunky 2, they made them explosive. So if you're not wearing it and it gets shot by the shopkeeper, it will blow up.
It's
They made
just
a lot of stuff blow
fun.
up.
Yeah.
Which I guess honorable mention to the bomb box, which gives you
10
12
bombs,
bombs,
I think.
10 bombs,
Is
10
it
bombs.
12?
I can see right now. I've got it pulled up here. Um,
Doesn't
it
actually
doesn't
say.
say. It doesn't say.
That's kind of
Just
weird. Yeah, 10 or 12. A lot of bombs. It's real good.
yeah. And if you get a shop where there's like three of those, you're set. You're like,
You
I've
like
got
don't ever need bombs again.
30 bombs. And you get to an enemy and you're just like, oh! You just throw them
Yeah.
like a madman. Oh man, what a great time that is. And so let's get to our number one. I'm curious, or do we have the same number one since we've had the same top three? My number
I
one
don't know.
is the
Probably not.
Kapala. The Kapala? I don't know how you pronounce it. The Skull Cup.
Uh, and per murdering people, you get health.
Yes. Each blood drop you collect fills up your cup, and once you fill the cup to the brim, you get another health, which happens quite a lot. So if you can get that cup early
Especially
game,
if you're running around murdering every shopkeeper with
well,
shotguns.
okay, listen, I'm talking about like basic enemies like spiders, snakes, just like the intro enemies, bats. All of those things will collect into the cup and give you bonus life. You get this by sacrificing things to the altar of Kali. Kali. Is Kali actually a character in Indiana Jones? Not a character, but like a thing in Indiana Jones. Is it a thing in actual lore somewhere?
It sounds familiar, like some god's name, but that
I
might
just
just be
remember
for
Indiana
Spelunky.
Jones being like, "Prepare to meet Kali."
Apparently a Hindu goddess.
Okay, well, I'm a bit culturally insensitive here with this, but Listen, we sacrifice things in this game to get this special item that makes the
Yes,
game.
sometimes he likes to sacrifice dogs.
We don't talk about that. Just kidding. Oh man, yeah, I don't do that. No, no, we don't sacrifice the dog most of the time.
You try to convince me to sacrifice the dog a lot when one of those altars
Well, when
pops up.
it's you, it's not my guilty conscience.
Yeah, but I don't sacrifice dogs.
Um, listen, I like this game has turned me into a monster for sure. But
I can
I just
attest.
want to point out that Micah is a monster in pretty much every other game we've ever played. So I don't feel quite like you should be, pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, Kettle, I'm the pot, and I'm calling you black." That's not very. It's not fair. It's not fair. That's what I'm saying. Let me have my time to be a monster in this game. I like this item. If you can get it, well, at any point it's really helpful, but if you can get it early game, your health will be set. Your health will be set.
Until you fall into lava or get squashed by a block.
Yep. That's my number one. That's my number one pick. You have to sacrifice a lot of things to the altar. That is why I start suggesting, like, maybe we should sacrifice the dog. Because there,
Maybe we should sacrifice you.
Yeah, that's what Micah usually comes back with. Well, we could sacrifice you. I'll be like, all right. I'll let you knock me out once and put me on there, because I'll come back next level. You have to sacrifice things at an altar to earn 16 points of favor. And different things are worth different amounts of points. I think, like, dead corpses are worth not as many points as alive. This is horrifying now that I'm talking about it.
Yes, if you knock someone out and while they're still unconscious, bring them to it, it's worth more.
Okay, it's not as horrifying as it sounds. It's not. This is not a like gruesome game. It is rated T for teen. It's about Indiana Jones levels of gruesome. Well, actually, no. Indiana Jones gets pretty gruesome.
I mean, he rips out hearts and things at times.
Yeah, they like ripped the guy's heart out, and then he's like, ah! He's like still screaming as he's even though he doesn't have a heart anymore. How? Whatever.
But the best item in the game is actually the plasma cannon.
Oh, it's dangerous, man.
Oh, it is so dangerous.
It didn't make my list because it is quite lethal to yourself.
But it is also essentially an infinite pickaxe because you can mine your way down with it
From a distance.
Yeah, from a distance.
From a very, very
You have to be very careful not to kill yourself with it because it essentially every time it hits something, it sets off a bomb.
Yeah, and it explodes like a ton of stuff. Oh man, yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, the plasma cannon is actually really cool. It's probably less cool in multiplayer because it's so easy to accidentally kill your buddies. But in single player, it's pretty sweet, especially paired with the jetpack. That's a good combo. And in the new game, there's the hover pack. I feel like it would work really well with the hover pack.
Yeah.
Good picks. Good picks. This has been our top 5 Spelunky items. And again, big shout out to the devs for giving us review copies of this game for the Nintendo Switch. Definitely check out Spelunky and Spelunky 2 on the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, I cannot recommend this game enough. Spelunky was my favorite indie game of all time. Spelunky 2, I think, is taking that spot for me. Now, having gotten back to it, I got to close out here with saying this game is not for the faint of heart. It is challenging. It is a challenging platformer game. So if you're looking for a more casual game to play, this is probably not that kind of game, like casual pacing. But it is so fun. The platforming is the best feeling platforming on a modern title that I can think of. You know, it just
I guess it's Celeste probably takes that slot
it
for me.
yes, it hits that kind of spot. Like Celeste feels so good to control. Spelunky feels very good to control. There's nothing wonky with the jumping. It just like everything feels really tight and just it's fun to play in every way. Spelunky. New tagline for you. That's what we got. And Micah, I think that about wraps up this episode, right?
I think so.
We've covered everything. Oh no, I got one more question for you. What's your favorite Spelunky character? Who do you play? Who's your go-to play as?
Well, my go-to in the new one, since there are only 4 characters, I don't remember any of the old ones, is Colin.
He's
He has these nice like mutton chops into a mustache.
He's Nigel Thornberry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Took me a few seconds to
in the
remember who
first
that
game
was.
where you had unlocked every character, who did you always play as? I don't even remember.
I think I played as someone who had a turban, and I don't remember their name.
Oh yeah, yeah. He wears the red
I think
clothes.
it's red. Yeah.
I don't think they had names in the first game. I might be wrong. My go-to character was the Green Ninja, and once we unlock whatever equivalent that is in Spelunky 2, that'll be my go-to again. I love the little ninja. It just feels you're just like jumping around the screen. You feel like a ninja playing Spelunky, you know? It just feels good.
Most of the time. Until you die.
Until you die. Then you feel like bad ninja. Ah, all right. That will be where we wrap up.
Yeah, I looked it up, and his name was Red, and it's literally they're just their colors.
So my favorite character was green.
Let me see. Oh no, yours was actually Ninja because they already had green. It's the girl with the bow.
Oh, okay. So my favorite character was Ninja. Yeah. That is our like full like this has been a Spelunky focused community corner. If you have any questions about Spelunky, want to ask more about the game, you're curious about the game, hit us up on our social medias and join our Discord where we've got a channel going for Spelunky 2 talk. We're gonna be sharing secrets. I'm trying to play the game without looking anything up. I don't want to look up any of the secrets. We're gonna try and figure those out as a community and as myself. I want to figure that stuff out. We found a secret today, and I put it out on the Discord. It's spoiler tagged, so if you don't want to see it, you don't have to. But you know, like, hey, let's go. Let's break this game together. We'll figure out all the secrets, all the hidden paths. And you know, speaking of, let's plug all our stuff here, Micah. Nintendo Palace can be found on almost every social media platform. We are on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Discord. Links to all of those are in the description of the podcast and description of the episode. And you can find us on every podcast listening app and platform. If your platform allows you to give some sort of positive feedback for this show, do it. We love those 5-star reviews. 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts move our podcast up the rankings so much. So please do that because you know these are the kinds of moving us up in the rankings helps us to get more early access to games like we got for Spelunky and just makes our content better.
Which was like the highlight of Andross's life right there.
Yeah. Super awesome. And let's see, that's all the social medias. We recently launched a new mini series of reviews on TikTok and YouTube. You can find them on YouTube under our shorts, or like the YouTube shorts, not under. It's a segment. I don't know how to describe it. Talking myself into the corner here. And then on TikTok, 60-second reviews, where we will do little mini reviews of games. And we are so close to hitting 100 followers on Twitch. So please, 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 if you have not already, we are announcing the winner of the most recent giveaway contest for followers shortly after this episode. Shortly after this episode recording. And yeah, we're 5 followers away from 100. So help us hit that number and help us make that number get even bigger. What next? 1,000? No, we're gonna be shooting for 150, 200 next. So stay tuned as we go for those goals. And special thanks to VGR for the intro music used throughout the podcast, or throughout all of our podcasts. And I think that's it. I think that's all the housekeeping items. Please, y'all, please go give us a follow on Twitch. It's free. Follows are free. Signing up for Twitch is free. Do it. Do it. And am I forgetting anything, Micah?
Probably.
I talked about our Discord. Awesome Discord community. Check it out. Where we talk about these news items and things. Yeah. I'm kind of rambling at this point. So, Micah, you wanna hit us up with a closing remark?
Oh man, I feel like it's only fitting with such a Spelunky 2 focused episode that you give us a sweet Spelunky closing remark.
A sweet Spelunky closing remark?
No pressure, but I mean, with all the Spelunky you've played, you probably have some like sweet knowledge nuggets.
No, I don't know. I don't know what. There's no like dialogue in the game.
Just some Spelunky words of wisdom.
All right. I'm just trying to think of like some cool advice I could give. Closing remark. Never explore a cave without bombs and rope. We'll talk to y'all next week.